Grey's Anatomy Season 20 Episode 10 marked the official end of the season. Following the writers' and actors' strikes, Grey's Anatomy Season 20 was given an abridged 10-episode order, a big shift from its past seasons that typically consisted of 20 or more episodes. The last episode dropped a few shocking revelations. Entitled Burn It Down, with a double entendre because it takes place during a big wildfire. As Burn It Down began, Meredith arrived at Grey Sloan with the conviction that Teddy's employment would be spared thanks to her and Amelia's promising Alzheimer's research. Despite Catherine's insane state, Grey believed, she won't stand in the way of scientific progress. And in a way, she was correct about it. As long as Mer handed all of Altman and Amelia's work to Koresic, before the end of the day the boss indicated Altman may continue to get paid. Well, Catherine reasoned the Fox Foundation now owned it since it had, if unintentionally, funded all of the research. In light of this, she was going to assign the assignment to Tom, someone she could trust. For once, Meredith would not have to apply for unemployment benefits along with Amelia and Teddy if she followed the instructions. However, Catherine clarified, this project is no longer yours. Jo and Link decided they would like a child someday after the false pregnancy alarm in Episode 5. Tests conducted after Jo fainted proved she was pregnant, a fact she chose not to disclose to the expectant father, delaying that conversation until Season 21. That day arrived much sooner than any of them had anticipated. The bomb that Quan delivered carelessly left us hanging as well, telling Adams that his ex-fiancée was a wildfire victim suffering from amnesia. The fact that he first mentioned his ex-girlfriend in passing in the most recent episode suggests that the existence of an ex-fiancée is a revelation that will require further investigation in the upcoming season. Although no one's life was in danger at the end of the episode, unlike in past Grey's Anatomy season finales, the majority of doctors, including all interns, found themselves at a crossroads in their careers, with their employment at Grey Sloan in jeopardy. This raised concerns about the actors' futures on the program. Later on, more on that. Amelia and Teddy, who were both fired by Catherine Fox for their refusal to give up on the project and turn over all of their notes to Koresic, are among Meredith's co-conspirators on her covered Alzheimer's research. Rather, she posted the study's abstract online. Additionally, Owen discovered that his badge had been disabled after defying Catherine and refusing to remove Teddy from the group attempting to rescue Theo Ruse of Station 19's life and limb. It was a wise decision because they succeeded in doing so, Teddy being the team's MVP. For a brief while, the Season 20 final resembled the Season 19 closing, in which two interns provided care for a patient in an operating room who later passed away. This time, Richard Webber was in charge of Millen and Yasuda. Richard was shocked by the death. He has been working hard to regain his confidence this season after his near-sobriety breakdown in the Season 19 finale. "I believe my time is running out," he said to Meredith. "This time feels different. I know I've stated it before, and I've taken breaks from the OR in the past. It seems like I should consider setting down the scalpel." Thankfully, Richard soon came to the conclusion that the intern's activities had no bearing on the patient's death, which improved his confidence in his decision-making and may have caused him to reconsider his retirement plans. Catherine was not finished with Teddy, Owen, Amelia, and Meredith. Just as she was going to support the GME suggestion that Adams be made a first-year intern again, the other interns entered the room to support him, along with a few unidentified individuals wearing scrubs. The recently revived romance between Griffith and Adams expressed the desire to not lose or leave anyone behind. Throughout the entire episode, she had been raising the alarm about Adams, who received the highest score on the big test, possibly leaving because he received an offer to work at Maggie's employer, the Chicago Heart Center. When Griffith threatened to go if Adams goes, Catherine calmly told the interns that she could have someone else take their place by the next day. This prompted Bailey, who had an intense emotional episode in which she fought to save Theo while fretting uncontrollably for her husband Ben as he battled the wildfire on the front lines, to make the ultimate power move. After Ben's menacing parting words, "I love you, Miranda Bailey, always have, always will," who can blame her for feeling uneasy? She gave the greatest power move of the episode, waltzing in and asking, "What about me?" to Catherine. In the last cliffhanger of the finale, "Can you replace me?" It will take till autumn to receive Catherine's response. Regarding the cast's future, Jake Borelli and Midori Francis are expected to leave, deadline exclusively revealed. All other series regulars have committed to returning for the upcoming season. However, it's possible that none of the seasoned actors will make an appearance in every episode. Some may miss a few. Expectedly, agreements have been reached for Borelli and Francis to return in the autumn and complete multi-episode story arcs for their characters. In fact, neither Leva nor Yasuda found satisfaction in the season 20 final, although it was conditional on him doing well on the test. He finished in the 62nd percentile. There was some indication that Borelli's Levi had finally gotten Beltran's approval for the pediatric fellowship he had been pursuing. When he saw his results, he told Helm, "I want to rethink my entire life." Yasuda, who was in the same situation as the other interns who spoke up for Adams, did not stand out in any particular way. Just prior to the four storming into Catherine's office, she had a private moment with Milton in which they nearly kissed. In the final moments of the show, Meredith and Nick shared a kiss. Nick had flown in from Boston to declare his love once more, even though he realized that Meredith made it difficult for him to be in her life. He told Meredith, "I'm in, I've been in, I can't seem to get out," adding that although he would prefer for them to remain partners moving ahead, he would follow her wherever she chose to go in the wake of the scandal over the covert research. In response, she made a show of her own, stating that she had recently made an offer on the property in Chestnut Hill that he had described in the previous episode, a place they could share and eventually become their home. In other romantic news, Beltran and Duhu have officially become a Grey's couple after they arranged for a second hookup at the end of the finale and began by waking up together.